strangers to the salvation. You see it, believe it, amazing. Them terrorists coming invasion since the creation. War of mine, Lord bless the general. Greatest nation, eat them unequivocal. Bombs dropping, buddy, cause it's biblical. Start shit, now it's time to finish. Whoa. Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for theirs to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time begin. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to the streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa! Said he won't vote, he looking for smoke. So, we give him some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
Hey, they got Captain spelled wrong. What's going on? Hey. Shalom, family. Really? Most High in Christ bless. Yeah, somebody made a mistake on it. That's all right. Hey, y'all. Good to see y'all again. We back for another week of the Nehemiah Squad. We're going to reintroduce ourselves. I am Captain Zaccai.
Hey. I'm Officer Shem.
Yep, Officer Judah.
All praises. Hey, put that thumbnail back up, y'all. All right. So tonight's show is called Fathers versus the System, the Custody Struggle, right? Fathers versus the System, the Custody Struggle, right? And, before we introduce our guests, I just want to talk about that a little bit because generally when parents, if they get a divorce or if it's like a single parent type of situation where it was a hit and run, so to speak, right? That generally the child goes with the mother, but it hasn't always been that way, right? We know that the father is very important in the child's life. And so at the end of the day, we have to build back the family. We're going to get into a whole conversation tonight, of course, with our guest, Chris Doughty. But before we bring Chris on, all right, play video number 3. I just want to start with this, all right, because we got to emphasize putting the family back together. All right, y'all. That's video number 3.
Consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and shelter. Raising a child consists
Hold
of
on,
much
pause
more
right there for a second.
than feeding.
All right, so this sister right here is Shahrazad Ali. All right, she made her name back in the 80s into the 90s. She would always come out and talk about how the black family and how black women should be purporting themselves as wives and young women coming up. So she was an excellent role model. She didn't get enough light, but she said some real poignant here. Go ahead, play that.
Raising a child consists of much more
than we
feeding,
can't hear anything.
Clothing, and sheltering it.
Hey, y'all, we can't hear that. Y'all got to fix that.
Come on, y'all.
Raising a child consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and sheltering it. That's maintaining one. To raise one, you need a return of the parental coalition of.
All right, get that out of here, man. We're gonna play that after. Let's talk to Chris because y'all are crazy as hell.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's talk to Chris.
Go ahead and get it out of there, y'all.
Hey, Chris. How you, bro? We can't even hear you, Chris. You on mute? Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. We can't hear you. Look like we got some technical difficulties as soon as the show starts. You can't make it up. Hey, y'all, what's going on? Do we have an answer for anything that's happening? All right. So, all right, you know what?
Test the mic, Chris. Test the mic.
All right, still nothing. He's off. He's on mute, off mute, still we're hearing nothing. All right, so I guess we're going to just entertain the people by telling jokes. I think that's what, we can't handle video, nothing. This is crazy. Hey, you know what? While we doing that, while y'all trying to do that, bring up the article number 4. Bring up number 4 right before we bring Chris on. You could read something. Read that bring out both those pieces so I could read the beginning and then read the highlighted section. Right, so I want right there. Okay, cool. Scroll down a little. Scroll down, scroll. All right, right there. Just read the title right there.
The concept and historical background of custody evaluation.
Right. Now, bring up that highlighted part. There's a highlighted section. It should be the next clip. They're both under number 4, but there's a highlighted clip right next to it. There's a highlighted clip, article highlighted right next to it.
Scroll
down a little.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole thing. There you go. Go ahead.
Okay. In the West.
Now, what it says in the West, it's talking about the Western Hemisphere, obviously the Americas. Go ahead.
Custody laws were very clear until the 19th century.
Mm-hmm.
The wife and children were considered the husband's possessions, and thus the father automatically had the custody right.
Right, you see, hold on. It said the wife and children were considered the husband's possessions, right? Let's find that scripture too while we at it. You're gonna keep reading, but find me where the wife is a possession, right? It said the wife and children were considered the husband's possessions, and thus the father automatically had the custody right. Yeah, read the rest.
In the Latihi tender years,
doctrine emerged. Go ahead.
In the Latihi tender years, doctrine emerged which assumed that mothers are better suited to rearing children.
Right, go ahead.
Changes started to occur.
Right, so during that time they said, you know what, maybe the mothers are better at rearing, suited to rearing the children, meaning raise the children. But watch this, go ahead.
Following the idea that naturally mothers may raise children better. In the 19th century, in the 20th century, custody rights were mainly determined on the basis of the doctrine.
Right, on the basis of the doctrine, not the basis of reality. All right, go ahead.
But that line of thinking received criticism for sexual discrimination in the 1970s.
Go ahead.
As the court started to take on the principle of the best interests of the children. Proposed in the early 20th century, the guidelines based on the tender years doctrine, which had been utilized until then, became obsolete.
Right. So what happened was when it was known that it was best to go with what? Go with the father, because he was what? He was the man who had the wife. That was his possession, and the children belonged to him. If the wife decided she didn't want to be there, then she would just leave. She would leave on her own, and the children would be what? Raised by the father. Right? So go ahead. You could drop that. Right? Give me that scripture. You know what I want, right?
It's Rock 36.
Go ahead. Wife is a possession.
Oh, yes. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
See that? He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession. So that's what it said right there. That what? The wife and children belong to the husband. That's what God said. So when you as the wife, when you feel like bouncing out, you just go. But the children, that belongs to that man. That's his seed. He gonna take care of them. He gonna raise them. Right? Go ahead.
a help like unto himself,
Right.
and a pillar of rest.
Right. That's what the woman's supposed to be, but that's his possession. So I just want to show y'all that to see that what they were bringing out there, I'm pretty sure they got that from the scriptures. You understand? And then they implemented it. Just like in early America, Christmas was banned, right? Why was Christmas banned? Because they knew that according to the Bible, Christmas was not a high holy day. It was pagan holiday from the Babylonian captivity, all right? Or from the Babylonian times. Y'all got something?
Nah.
Better get something.
Oh, we're going to get it.
You better get something because these guys in IT and broadcast are nuts. Hey, did y'all figure that out yet?
Yeah, they ready.
All right, so let's go. Play the video for Shahrazad Ali. Got me over here cursing y'all out.
Raising a child consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and sheltering it. That's maintaining one. To raise one, you need a return of the parental coalition of the father and the mother to put the proper values into the child.
She said, hold on, pause. She said the parental coalition. That's big words, bro. Yeah. That's a sweet words right there. Parental coalition, the father and the mother, y'all. Go ahead.
When we raise them alone, they grow up with the female emotional mechanism. They are suspicious. They are doubtful. They're disrespectful of womanhood. They're bitchy.
Hold on. She said they raised with the female emotional mechanism.
Right. Bruh.
That's hardcore.
You can't have a mechanism.
Not the mechanism.
You can't have a mechanism, bro.
Yo.
I don't know.
She said a female mechanism. That's when the son is raised by his mom only.
And the mom don't even know she's putting that in him.
Exactly.
She thinks she's helping that boy, but she's making him.
She said, even Shahrazad Ali said, you making the boy bitchy.
Yeah, I was just about to say it was going back.
Yeah, pull that back just
Pull
a
it
bit
back just
and then
a
play
little
it.
bit, man. And watch her say it.
She going on.
Raising a child consists of much more than feeding, clothing, and sheltering it. That's maintaining one. To raise one, you need a return of the parental coalition of the father and the mother to put the proper values into the child. Many of our boys, when we raise them alone, they grow up with the female emotional mechanism. They are suspicious. They are doubtful. They're disrespectful of womanhood. They're bitchy. They can't make a decision.
Dang.
And many of our girls who grow up in a home where there's no man present, they go out into the world and try to mate. They don't have any idea how to live with a man day to day.
Right, pause. That's heavy. Right, so when the young girls, when they grow up without the dad, they don't know how to deal with a man because they're not seeing any type of representation of it their whole lives.
Yeah, no example. That's
Right.
like if you try to teach me something out of a book and I never get my hands on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I can't learn to be a doctor just by reading the book.
Right.
I gotta go to class and I need a
You
what
need
you call it,
clinical.
cadaver. You know?
Yeah, you got to have clinical experience. You got your hands got to be on it.
Yeah. So same thing with the young lady. She needs to see example.
That's right.
Yeah.
All praises. Go ahead, hit play.
Proper meal, how to be a mother, how to just be in love in the home. Most of what our people and our children especially have learned about how you have a relationship, they learned off of television. And television doesn't represent our needs. And so a lot of the confusion has come, from outside agencies that we have not recognized just how detrimental it has been to us as a people.
That's right. She said the outside agencies have been very detrimental to us as a people. All right. And what are those outside agencies? The ones that's saying that the kids automatically go with moms. You can't be in the house if y'all getting the whole nine. Y'all know what it is. When they came in with the welfare system, when they came in with the family court system, all of that to destroy the family. This is what she's referencing. All right. So let's bring out Chris because we about to talk about child custody. All right. Where's our brother Chris? Where you at, bruh? Here you go.
You can hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All praises. We can hear you now, my brother. How you been, man?
Y'all okay?
Yeah, man. We good now. You know what I'm saying? We got you. You know how it is, man. The little technical issues. You know what I'm saying? We sent somebody back there. They smacked them around. We got it going now, though. So, Chris, talk to us, man. Talk to us about these custody battles and how come it's so hard for us as fathers to gain custody of our children.
I got some questions for you.
All right.
I got some questions.
Oh, you got questions. All right.
If me and you riding in the car,
right,
and I got some, I got some green on me.
Okay.
And it's mine.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And me and you roll in the car and we get pulled over by the police. They pull me over and say, Oh, is somebody got some marijuana in here? You say, yeah, yeah, I have it. They'll charge me, right?
Yes.
Because I got possession of
Right.
marijuana, right? If I went on a crime scene and I went out and I, you know, fired a weapon at someone and they find the gun, they will say, I have possession.
That's right.
If I went out and I had stolen goods on me and they caught me with it in Walmart, they'll say, you have possession.
Right.
It seems as if you can have possession of everything according to the law besides your child.
Right.
You can never get caught having possession of your child, but you can get caught having possession of everything else.
Yeah, that's heavy stuff. That's heavy stuff. They say you do not have possession. No. You holding that child's hand, but that's not possession. That belongs to the mother.
Have you ever took your car to get a title and someone stole your car and they ask them, do you have a title to that car? They say, no. This is a stolen car, sir. The title gives you possession. The title of fatherhood give you possession. The title of motherhood give you possession.
Right.
The DNA, your DNA gives you possession. That is your legal right to have possession of something that comes from you.
No, you're absolutely correct.
So how could a state agency go and tell you this not you can't have this? Now, if I was to do a crime, they would give it to me all that I can take.
That's right. All day.
Pause. All day. They give if they wanted to accuse somebody of crime, they will give you all of the things that point you to that crime. Besides when it comes to your child.
Right.
Because possession is 9/10 of the law. Right?
That's what's said.
It's 9/10 of the law. And when it comes to possession for you, now you said something very important. When before the 1930s, the child went with the father, right? But now today, they don't go with the father. But if you get married under this system, the children and the wife is not considered your property anymore, right?
Nope.
But the reason why they're not your property is because you signing documents that involves the state. The state is the husband, and you are the co-husband.
You said we the co-husband.
You are the co-husband.
Damn.
When you sign a birth certificate, you're the co-father. You're the secondary father. You're not the primary father. Now, if I go and get married and that woman is not my possession, let's say if I'm a millionaire, what do that woman leave with? She leave with my possessions. She leave with everything that you have. That's not your. She leave with your child. She leave with your money. She leave with your 401k. She leave with your retirement. She leave with your car. She can leave with your clothes.
Damn. Listen, Chris, man.
But you,
Hey, Chris, listen. Don't scare the family into not getting married, Chris. Hey, listen.
Oh no, we it's always a work. always ways around
Right.
getting married versus the state versus you can create an affidavit and go turn it into the state county and you're legally married.
Mm.
It's just you're not legally married with the state.
All right, we'll talk about that later.
We'll talk
Yeah,
about that
we'll
later.
talk
Yeah.
about that later.
So the interest of your you separating from your child, you not having possession of your child. The reason is to tax you into oblivion, make your child a ward of the state. That's what they're going to make you. Because when you go out of their life, guess what? 9 times out of 10, the mother is going to get on what? Welfare.
Right.
Now your child is now theirs for real. You're not even the co-father anymore. You are just the payee. You the payer. You're not even a father. You're not even considered. You're considered the legal father. You have the biological father. You have the legal father. You have the alleged father, and you have the natural father. There's 4 different fathers in the law.
So you saying that? So those four fathers that you just named, you saying legally on the books? That's how it's written.
Oh yeah.
Say
It's
that
written
again.
like that.
Say that again.
Legal father,
Mm-hmm.
biological father,
Okay.
alleged father,
Damn, alleged.
and the natural father.
All right. What's the difference between natural and biological?
Natural father, the natural father is the father who's corrected the status to be the father who was married to the mother and the biologically belongs to the child.
Hmm.
Legal father is the only father that pays child support.
So right. So anybody could be the legal father actually, because if you sign a birth certificate for a child that's not yours, you now become legal father.
Yes,
Right. So now as a biological father, you would not be the natural father because you were not married to the wife, to the woman. Is that what you're saying?
you will be the father, but you have no rights.
Damn. Okay.
So when you go into court, they know that you're coming in under one of those fathers and you have no knowledge of which father that you are. And now when you go file for custody, they give you a runaround.
Mm.
So as a father, you have to almost fix your status. When you go in these hospitals, they ask you, hey, are y'all married? Always say yes.
So saying yes, saying so being the natural biological father, that's going to give you the legal, make you the legal father.
That will make you the lawful father of the child.
Hey, this is crazy.
So you be all forefathers.
You won't be the alleged. You won't be
Right,
the
you won't be the
you won't,
alleged.
yes.
You be
You
the
won't be the
forefathers.
alleged. Yes. Yes. So
Okay.
you can't be the natural father if you're not married or have done DNA test for that child.
Hmm.
So when you go into the court, I was working with someone today, and I was working with this guy, and he was going through the court, and they said, "Well, you can go do the DNA test, and then you can be the father."
Hmm.
But he already done the DNA test, and they said, well, no, you got to do our DNA test, but we for you to pay us. You have to pay you for me to give you your rights to your child. You have to do our DNA test. You have to go to our agency first. You have to allow me to get in your bed first. I'll tell your wife what to do. I'll tell your baby mom what to do.
how does all this play with the custody? Like at the end of the day, like when we get to the custody, being the natural father, or you know what I'm saying, the biological father, how does that sway when it comes to actually getting your child at the end of the day? Which
You go, okay. You go to the court. Please don't have a lawyer try to do this. They won't do it. But I don't give legal advice, so do what you want. Um, you have to go first. You have to file a petition with the court with the right verbiage on the paper. So you have to express on that paper that you have done a DNA test by a court trusted DNA testing center, right? You do that, like say if you go to Quest, right? And you have to put on the paper, on the petition, that you're declaring yourself as the lawful father, lawful and biological father. And also you put, if you can, put your parents' name on it, you know, the baby mom's your baby mom or your wife, put her parents' name on it if she know her parents, put the the lawful duties, like what duties do you have to the child, the what if in case if you pass away, you or the mom pass away, what would the child, is the child entitled to your inheritance, stuff like that. So you put that in the document expressing that you are the lawful and biological father of the child, and your rights are protected under the Constitution as the child's father, and also put the legal duty, the lawful duties of what you're going to do, what you're going to do for the child. Like, I always will provide for my child and make sure my child well being is being met. You know,
so
something like that. And you put the parents where they can, like, let's say if something happened to you, the child can always track who their grandparents are. You know what I mean? Or you go in the Bible, you can get the Bible, write down the family tree, attach that to the petition. If the child needs to know, they always have that reference to go to if they want to find their family.
right.
You
So,
know.
so when what I'm thinking, like when the court case comes, right? We get the family court or whatever. We're gonna figure out who the child is gonna go to. Most of the case, would you say it goes to joint custody? Because after I declare myself as the father, which I am, right, and maybe I have a legal battle with the mother, right?
hmm
Usually, it would end up in joint custody unless there's a extreme situation on either party's side, you know. So if we're not doing the things like you saying, establishing natural fatherhood, if I'm not establishing those things, does that change the end result when we get to court? Or is it a less chance that I get joint custody with my child, or what?
Right. How does
Well,
that
you
impact
you
you?
can
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
you can always fix those things within that court. You can always fix those things within that court case. So if you haven't done it in the past, you can just, hey, you can file a motion or and put an affidavit to declare that you are the natural and biological, and you can ask the judge to make an order granting you those rights. If he don't grant it, you can file an appeal, and 9 times out of 10 they will grant it.
Right. I think
And so the appeals court have more power than the local court.
well, I mean, what we see generally, and because the whole point of the show is that how do fathers, because generally fathers do not get like full custody, right?
So
They don't have, they're generally not the custodial parent, is what we're saying, right? Generally, it's the mother, and then the father has to come and pick up the child once a week and all this other stuff, right? Even with 50-50 custody, most times the child, the custodial parent is the woman, right?
Yeah.
So the issue is how do you mitigate the impact of of whatever facts are coming forward in order for you, the father, to become that custodial parent, as opposed to the other way around.
Well, now with that being with that question being asked, one thing that you can point out, which is a fact, and facts are laws, and it's no way around it. One thing you can point out is when a child doesn't have equal time with me, it's child abuse, and it is child abuse. Study shows that if a child goes without his father, his or her father, the child will experience low self esteem. The teenage
Absolutely.
pregnancy rates goes up. Girls hit puberty earlier when their father is not around. Girls seek outside validation when their father's not around because
Right.
they didn't get that attention. Girls become more disagreeable when their father is not around. Boys become into gangs when their father's not coming around. It's not around. The mother is overworked and tired all the time, and the pressure is on one person. So, with in that document, let's say if you want to file a motion for 50-50 custody with you having primary custody, what you do is you go back to the Bible, right? Go. That's where our law system originally come from. You go back to the Bible. You find that scripture in the Bible. That now, what I told y'all last time, Bible is a fact now in court. You can always point into the Bible, even if you can't find relevant case law. So you point into the Bible where the father was the first caretaker of the family. You go to that, put that in your document, saying, hey, I want 50-50 custody, and it's because of this, right? And if you're denying me custody, you have a code of judicial conduct to protect the public. So the judge have to protect the public. So what you tell them, hey, if you're not granting me 50-50 custody, you are allowing child abuse. And it's child abuse whether you know it or not, whether it's physically present or not. So you put that into motion, right? So a lot of fathers don't do this. They don't go into the court demanding their rights be granted. I'm not asking you anything. I'm demanding you to obey your oath
Right.
of a judicial conduct, and also I'm demanding you to follow the Constitution. Now, what happened most of the time? This is in the ideal world, right? The mother say, "He hit me. He punched me. He left the children by themselves." And that's how a lot of the times men don't get custody of their child, is because fake restraining orders, fake protection orders are placed on them,
Right.
right? So when they do that, if you know you haven't done nothing to this woman, you know you haven't hit or abused the child or any way, you go to the civil court, file a false reporting claim against her, make her prove that you have abused her or the child, and if she can't prove that, that's a criminal charge.
Right. Right. And that's the thing, right? It's very hard to prove something like a lie, right? If somebody said you hit him, how are they proving that you hit him? There's no video, there's no nothing, but
No police
automatic, right? No police report, but automatically the court is gonna 9 out of 10 believe the woman, right? Most times.
Yeah.
But I just want to go back to something you were talking about before in regards to when a father's not in the home. All right. Bring up video number 2. It's a short, real quick, and we're going to talk about that during the course of the night. How the father being in the home is paramount. You know what I mean? You cannot have a child growing without the dad. It happens, but that's not ideal, obviously. Right? But go ahead, play video number 2.
CNN published an article which, according to their caption on Twitter, purports to show that, quote, advantages of being raised by a single mother outweigh expectations and outlast childhood embarrassment.
Pause. So the CNN had an article talking about being raised by a single mother. The advantages of it outweigh what was expected. Now, that doesn't mean that it's great. It just outweighed what was expected. I just want to make sure y'all heard that part. Go ahead, hit play.
CNN published an article which, according to their caption on Twitter, purports to show that, quote, advantages of being raised by a single mother outweigh expectations and outlast childhood embarrassment. Advantages. Roughly 24 million, or 1/3 of all American children under age 18, are living with an unmarried parent, and 81% of those single-parent homes are headed by a mom. The number of kids being raised by mostly single moms has more than doubled between 1968 and 2017, and it's catastrophic. We've been running this social experiment for decades to see if fathers are expendable for children individually and society generally, and we've gotten an answer to that question. The answer is the one that the moderately perceptive people decades ago already knew and warned about. The answer is no. Every child.
Pause. He said we've been running a social experiment, meaning what? Having a father outside the home, right? But he said, but what they knew decades ago was the answer. It doesn't work. They already knew that. They already knew that way back. Why? Because biblically, everything is based on families.
Right.
Everything is based on families.
Look at the Willie Lynch letter.
Right.
It's all in there. They knew that wasn't going to work from the beginning. They knew to get the mother that had the children, so the boy would grow up effeminate. Yeah.
Right.
And the daughter would grow up masculine.
Right.
Reversing the roles.
Exactly. So, and hold on, y'all stay right there. Officer Matthias, bring up Genesis 10 real quick and read 32 and 33. I just want to show y'all something. 31 and 32 is what I want. I just want to show y'all how the Lord built us as a people, right? You can't just have a baby and just run over here and have babies from different baby daddies and the father just dropping seed all over the place. Right. You got that, bro?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10 and verse 31. These are the sons of Shem after their families.
After their families. Go ahead.
After their tongues. In their lands. After their nations.
Go ahead.
These are the families of the sons of Noah.
The families of the sons of Noah. The families of the sons of Shem. Go ahead.
After their generations. In their nations. And by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
And when you read through the scriptures, you read through the book of Numbers, and you read through the Bible, you see families. Everything is about the family. How do you do that? You have a mother, your father, your children, and they go on and so forth, and you build that nation. All right? But go ahead, hit play.
Has a mother and a father, which means that they need a mother and a father.
Damn,
they may get by with
I'm sorry. The child was born of a mother and father. How hard is that? That means that they need a mother and a father. Right. What are we talking about? We can't say, oh, yeah, I can just raise them on my own. Yeah, you could. But is that the greatest? Go ahead, hit play.
Only one parent, but it's not ideal.
Right.
CNN published an article which, according to their caption on Twitter.
That's it, y'all.
So, and we all about family. Remember
right.
this. You know what I'm saying? So, in certain cases, you're gonna have a man that is unfit to deal with a child. We're talking about somebody that really is abusive.
Right.
Somebody that really does do drugs in abundance.
Right.
You know, somebody that's physically abusive or whatever. Somebody that's reckless. Somebody that's mentally unstable.
Right.
On the flip side, you got that with women also. Somebody mentally unstable.
Right.
I just seen a case. The sister, she killed her kids a long time ago. Put them in the freezer for years. Right. You know what I'm saying? She was mentally unstable. Those kids should have been with the father somewhere.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what we like to see is successful marriage because that's our culture. But in a sense, when it doesn't work, you got to try to salvage because it's about the kids. The parents be so against each other, they want to hurt each other. Right. Usually the women want to hurt the men because, I don't know, a lot of examples I'll see is like if the man moves on or whatever, he finds a woman or whatever, and he's not doing terrible, She wanted to see him destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Now, most of the time when I see, this is most of the time, when the man be hurt, but eventually he moves on. He don't want to see the wife or the woman destroyed for the rest of eternity.
Right.
You know, hell have no
fury like
a woman scorn. You know what I'm saying? So she want to see you dead.
Right.
So and in that
Dead.
case, they'll take advantage of like the last topic we had, child support. Right. You know, they'll take advantage of that to hurt you. They'll take your children to hurt you, but then we forgetting about the benefit of the children. In the best case for the children, the father does need to be involved in some way, whether you like it or not. Mm-hmm. The mother needs to be involved in some way, whether you like it or not, because this child is going to get his nurture from the mother.
That's right.
He's going to get his toughness from the father. Yep. He's going to get that child going to get empathy from the mother. Mm-hmm. He's going to get logic from the father.
Right.
And then it's going to make him a good person in the end. But when you only have emotion, you know what I'm saying? You only have sensitivity. You only have empathy. You don't have logic. This is what Sherazad Ali was talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then the women end up bringing forth monsters.
Yes.
Instead of taking, allowing. When you look in the Bible, right? Moses, Israelite. You know what I'm saying? But he took counsel from his father-in-law on how to run a nation. You know, so guess what? Even in here, if the father is not in the truth, right? Do we tell the women, hey, oh, that brother's wicked. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't have no contact with him. If this brother if he's not mentally unstable, if he's not insane, if he's not physically abusive, that son needs to deal with his father in some form or fashion, because he's gonna, like we was talking about, he's gonna teach him those things. So we're not into the do this to the child to hurt the other person. We want to find solutions to actually help the child, because like you said, when the father is not in the house, which I experienced, that's when you start going crazy. You start doing all the bad stuff. You know, the women start, the young ladies, they looking for that affection from a father that's not in the house anymore, and they find it in the school via a young teenage boy to tell them that they're cute.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When the father's supposed to be telling a little girl he love her all day.
Right.
She get that love all day.
Yeah, you're beautiful and all of that.
Yeah.
And Chris, one more before we get back to you. We just want to play one more thing, and then we're going to hit a scripture real quick. Play video number 1 and get 2nd Esdras 5 and 8, because he referenced it, and I want to definitely read it. But play video number 1. Video number 1.
It's the one with the 1 on it.
These guys. Video number 1, y'all. What is good?
What's happening?
Then we sitting here with dead air. All right, come on.
We know that statistically, children who come from single-parent homes have much worse outcomes.
Pause. Single mother homes. Kids who come from single father homes statistically are in line with a 2-parent household. A single mother home is way worse, even if you have money. So if you're a wealthy single mother, even your money won't help your child.
We know that statistically, children who come from single-parent homes have much worse.
We're good on that. Read that scripture.
This is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 8. There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters.
Right, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Right? So those monsters are what? Gangbangers.
Yep.
Right? Things of that nature, where the child is out of control. It talks about that in the book of Isaiah chapter 3 as well. We'll get that later. But the point is that the menstruous women will bring forth monsters because why? They like you brought out, Chris, they under pressure. Yeah. They're not able to bring out the understanding of how to grow up to be a man, the logic, the understanding, knowing how to regulate your emotions, things of that nature. And this is why the man needs to be involved in his child's life. If he cannot be married to this woman, then he needs to be involved.
Right.
If not being a primary caretaker. And that's nothing against all the single mothers who are single because of, different things happen.
Right.
And they doing their thing and they doing their best. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are raising the child the best they can, and the children are, they learning from other people. That's the value of having families,
Right.
Right. So if there's a break, at least the other families are there to support the child. The child has an uncle to look to.
Yeah,
the child
yeah.
has the other men in the neighborhood and stuff to look to, real men who's doing things and hold them up,
Right.
and be able to still train them.
But like the problem though with that is the men that they around, like the uncles, guess where they at? They in the community, right? And guess what the community is doing? That uncle is hustling. That the other uncle is pimping. If you're not, let me say this: our families, they do highlight a lot of those families on that spectrum, but they don't show a lot of prestigious black, like it's more than you would think, like
absolutely
professional black families, where that uncle might be a doctor, or it don't even got. He might be a union worker or something. Right. He know how to paint. And he could teach him some strong values. In that case, that child got a chance. But if it's on the other side of the spectrum, he's going to go outside and learn from all the negative traits that the males around him are doing.
Right,
You
right.
know?
But go ahead, Chris, man. We throw it back to you, bro.
Yeah, when I had a friend and his mom divorced his dad, and he was a good kid. But man, as soon as his dad left, he caught an R charge and like hanging with the wrong in high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was he expressed to me, and I'm like, man, what's wrong? Like you usually didn't do this. He just broke down to me, man, I miss my dad. I just not the same no more. I'm not the same. Like he expressed like my whole world just
Yeah.
shift, and I feel like my dad can't talk to me, and I just don't have that unity anymore. And my friend, I've been graduated from high school 12 years now, and he haven't been the same since. He haven't been the same since we was in the seventh grade. Still to this day, still to this day. But let me go to this. The pressure that women face when they in a single mother household, and the pressures that a child face when they're living under a single parent household. Think about this. You go to the grocery store as a woman, and you go back home at night. You got a trunk full of groceries. You got 2 or 3 kids. You live in a kind of dark little spot. You can't really see. It's nothing you can do if I wanted to take the children as a stranger. It's nothing you can do. As a woman, you know that in everything you do, it's rush. Hurry up, get in the house, get the bags. You got your child running back and forth to the car, getting the bags. That's still subconscious programming that breeds anxiety. And the child grows up and don't know where that anxiety comes from.
Makes sense.
Right.
So you saying like if a father was out there, it ain't no rush. If somebody run up,
It
on
ain't
us-
no rush.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm good. My
Yeah.
daddy here.
Yeah.
In fact, my mama would have never went to the store because my daddy can go to the store at night.
Right.
Right.
But you in a single mom household, there's effects that you know and don't know. For instance, my daughter, she try her mama every day. She try just try her pick at her every single day. Without trying, like that's just how women are.
Right.
She pick her at her every day. She just say all the meanest words to her possible. Just they have done studies on monkeys. The monkeys are programmed to know the mother tone of voice versus the father tone of voice. They put these monkeys on the street, right? They put these monkeys on the street in Kenya. The monkeys started robbing the women only.
Damn.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, bro. What we talking about, man? We got what are we talking about right now? We got some damn
Jack monkey.
Even in nature, they know that the father, the male, have more authority.
Okay, I see what you're saying. All right, so the monkeys, I got what you're saying now. So the monkeys became, when they wanted to become larcenous, they went after the women.
Yes.
They didn't go after the women monkeys. Is that correct?
No, both.
Wait, human women?
They know that it's consequences when they're dealing with a man.
Exactly.
Versus a woman.
That's right. That's right.
So even in nature, my daughter, she feel like she have no consequences when her dad is not around.
Right. Absolutely.
That's why she try her. That's why the monkey try the women only. They don't mess with the men.
Hey, that's true in the house. Hey, the wife will tell the kids, "Hey, y'all sit down," with an angry face, and she'll yell it, and the kids keep doing what they want to do.
Yep.
And all I gotta do is look and say, "Y'all better sit your little ass down." I ain't even gotta yell.
You might not even have to do that.
Yeah, and the whole house is quiet.
You just look at them.
Yeah.
Yep.
You just look.
Yeah.
The children instinctively, nature instinctively know that the father has the authority in the family. For instance, when we was young kids, our mama whoop us. When we get about 13, oh, get on, man, that belt don't hurt no more.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? So women don't understand that being in a single parent household is only a limited amount of authority, because guess what? I'm going to play on your emotions anyway.
Right.
I'm going to play you going to put me, your daddy, he'll put you out. You'll be out.
Oh, yeah.
Your mama, you ain't going to put me out.
Right.
I'm going to come home late anyway.
Right.
I'm going to come home late anyway. It's nothing you can do. What you going to do? Put me out? I'm your baby. You remember? I'm your precious baby. You're going to put me out.
You don't even like to hit me with the belt. You gonna put me out?
You going to cry after you whoop me.
Right.
I mean, it's the mother authority comes from the father. I'm gonna wait till your daddy get home.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's just like the supervisor of the job. His power is coming from the management. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying, the upper management. So you know that he's representing the boss. Yeah. That's where his power is coming from. Right? So that's 100% correct. Yeah. You know what I mean? But let's get to that. We got to bring out the scriptures, Chris. You know what I'm saying? That's scriptural. Right? So we're gonna bring out a couple things. Bring out 1 Corinthians 11. All right? Because this right here shows the hierarchy. The Most High already set up the hierarchy in the family, and it can't be broken. It's never going to be broken. That's why when you see that the woman is ruling her husband, it just never, it's not a good thing. It never works out. The house is crazy. All right? Go ahead. Get that when you read.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 11 and verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ.
Right. So the head of every man is Christ. Come on.
And the head of the woman is the man.
Period. The head of the woman is the man. Go ahead.
And the head of Christ is God.
Right. So you got God the Father, you got Christ, you got the man, you got the woman. That's it. That's the hierarchy, and the children underneath her. Once that's broken, things are going to be out of control. Right. You know? Give me Sirach 30 and 1. Right? Because we talked about it. The correction comes from that father. The mother say, hey, wait till your pops come home. Boom. Everybody running around scurrying, sitting tight.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 30, verse 1. He that loveth his son causeth him oft to feel the rod.
You see that? He that loves his son causes him often to feel the rod, right? When he getting out of line, your father's going to put hand to AS. Y'all know what it is. Go ahead, read.
That he may have joy of him in the end.
Right, so he going to have some joy of him in the end because he going to correct the foolishness. Go ahead.
He that chastiseth his son shall have joy in him, and shall rejoice of him among his acquaintance.
Right. He that chastises his son, right? But he's going to chastise his son based on when his son is getting out of order. Yeah. Now, a lot of y'all who just raised up with y'all mothers, y'all know how mothers are. They start beating you when they get angry. Yeah. They don't beat you according to what you're doing sometimes. They beat you when they're angry. And when I say beat, y'all know what I'm talking about. Spank or whatever corporal punishment. But a father would be in the greatest mood in the world. Right. You cut up, he going to go over there, smack you around, and just keep laughing like nothing happened. Yep. Your mother going to beat you and be like, I told you that. You made me tell you that nigga. They going on for like another hour.
You ain't just like your daddy.
Right. Turned up. Yeah.
For real.
Turn all the way up. When mom's is having a bad day, you getting toe up.
Yeah, you better watch out.
You better go run somewhere. Go hide in the corner.
Hurricane mommy's in the
kitchen.
and they don't have that. They don't have that. See, the woman runs off the man's system.
Right.
She know when she get home. Now you know you not about to take your frustration out on the children. You know I'm not going to allow it. Right. So don't even try. Just go home and chill out and go do something else. But you're not going to take the anger out on the children. Now, a lot of the times when a father is outside of the house and the woman is dealing with a level of stress, the man becomes a listening ear for the woman. A lot of the times, the woman just want to vent. Mm-hmm. She just want to be heard.
Right.
But guess what? When you come home to a house without a father, who do she have to talk to?
Well, a lot of times, and just jumping on that, a lot of times she makes one of the kids her friends.
Yeah.
You see? Yeah. And that's where things go bad. No, you can't be, it's not no friends like that. You know what I mean? Like when my kids was coming up, I said, yeah, hopefully when y'all become adults, we could be friends. But right now, we're not friends. Once they
when you're an adult.
Yeah, when you're an adult, and then we start talking, you know what I'm saying? You start holding it down. You got house, cars, and all this. And yeah, now we're gonna have some regular conversations. But before that, no, hell no. We're gonna have some conversations, but you're gonna shut the hell up. You gonna shut your mouth when you're talking to me.
Man.
Now on the custody tip, getting back to the discussion of getting custody.
Yes, sir.
When a woman say that he's not fit to have the child, right? He's not fit to be with the child long term. So what you do to combat that is you gather witnesses, people at your job, how long you have been on different jobs, the complexity of that job. You go to see if you can get teachers that have been your teacher in the past, or if you in college, you get one of those teachers to come to testify for you to allow the court to know, hey, this guy is a good father. He's just being blamed to get child support money. So they want to keep you away from the child so they can benefit financially. They want the money, but they don't want the authority that the father comes with. But instead, they will take the state authority and run with that in replace of the father because they feel like they can benefit. So between you and they say they had a study that say for average father to get custody of their child, he would then have to spend at least $40,000.
What? Wait, so 40,000 on what? An attorney?
On an attorney.
Oh, okay. I understood.
Well, I guess that child is going to be with the mother.
$40,000. They want to benefit off you,
right?
As long as they could. It was a divorce. I know a guy. He got a divorce back in 2015. He just now finished the divorce last week.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
The child is now 12.
Yeah,
they
crazy.
Want to milk the most money. That's why, as fathers, we have to know the law ourselves and represent ourselves as much as possible to take the load. Because if you dealing with the court and they see that you're competent, that you're competent, they have no use for you. Give him his kids. He's not paying our attorneys. We don't care about him. Let's focus on the next Negro that's coming up here. We can get more. We are wasting money on this guy when we can be going after the next guy.
Right.
So they're more. They are more. If you got an attorney, they're gonna pull every string. The other attorney, the opposing attorney that the mom have, they're going to cause as much problems as possible to lengthen the time that they can make money and you can pay child support. And the longer time you pay child support, they can say, hey, and you don't have custody of the child, they can say, hey, he haven't been with the child.
Well, let's play this video real quick, Chris, based on what you're talking about. Play video number 5 and start at 22 minutes and 45 seconds. All right. This brother here is talking about the needs of the children, but the courts, you know. All right, that's video number 5. Start at 22 minutes, 45 seconds. All right.
Yeah, I would agree with you. You grew up in a generation that was very prevalent. I was talking to a friend today, and even I grew up in a time where in your book it talks about the African proverb that it takes a village to raise a child.
Yeah.
And we lost that.
Pause for a second. So he referenced the what he said, the African proverb, right? It takes a village to raise a child, but that's what we were bringing out in the scriptures, right? All of the families, right, who are together, they're going to be able to support if anything was to happen, right? Be able to, and raise not only monetarily, but obviously ethically, you know what I'm saying, morality, the whole nine. But go ahead, hit play.
Yes, we have.
This generation.
Yes. I would say probably 2 generations.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe more, but and so when you say let's have a conversation, when a young man is married, a young African American man that did not have a father, that did not have an uncle, that didn't have a coach, or if he had a coach, the coach was only there for the benefit of himself to win games, but not to be a mentor or a person that can speak into that kid's life. And a kid is trying to navigate himself through life without that male role model. You want to talk about that?
Huge problem, because it's at least twofold. Who trains that man to be a man that you raised? And if the models are non-existent or inappropriate, etc., it really is a big issue. And as we were talking earlier, the idea that I proclaim myself to be a man, I'm a full-grown man. Those sort of statements are in many ways kind of a big part of the problem, because as you
Pause
pointed
right
out,
there. You heard what he said? He said when people are saying, when they come up without that father figure, without those examples, and they're saying, yeah, I'm a full-grown man. I'm a man. I'm a full-grown man. He's saying that's part of the problem, because they're trying to proclaim they're a man, but they haven't actually been brought up to be a man. This is what he's saying. Go ahead, hit play.
That we don't have any idea of what manhood is about. We did. We had a very clear idea. But those notions that were in play when I was growing up are not here anymore. And it's not that I don't think they're relevant now, because I think they're keenly relevant, but they're non-existent, etc. I do see some hope with that, because I'm aware of elders stepping to the forefront and being involved here in the Oakland area. I certainly see that. There's a very viable, vital organizations in place, but we need much more than that. The idea, I remember you, I'm much older than you, but it may have worked for you also, but it wasn't just my parents who had the right and responsibility of punishing me.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, I grew
Other
up in that
adults,
generation.
yes, and then let the parents know, but they were given the privilege of participating in rearing. We've lost that.
Hit pause. Y'all heard what he said? He said it wasn't just his parents that had the privilege and responsibility to raise him, but the other families as well, right? So when he would act up in the street, and some of us know about that, that kind of died off, that the other parents would put hands on you. And then when your parents came home, was like, listen, this guy was over here acting up. I had to smack the hell out of him. Oh yeah? Get your ass over here. Right. And they grab you up and you get another one. Right? But then what? Things changed, right? Abuse, this, that, start happening. Now everybody's by themselves. Right? Hey y'all, we just gonna go to 26 minutes and 15 seconds. Hit play.
And there's any number of things that speak to us having survived the period of enslavement, which by rights all of us should have died. I mean, it's the things that we went through and survived, and speaks to our truth and who we are in terms of humanity. We some of us got some of that, and then some of us missed that. But we need to go back, and we need to go back quite seriously. And I don't know in my lifetime that I will see it, but I would hope that there's some turns towards that. To go back and ask about the ancestors. Who were they? What were they doing? Who knows what about them?
Pause. You see what I'm saying? And this is why we push so hard in this truth to teach our people their heritage. We had to bring that scripture out last week. We got to get it again. Before we end this video, just get Job 8 and 8. All right? This is very important. He said, check back your ancestors. We got to go look and search for our fathers to see what they were doing, so we could what? Follow that example. Because at one time we did understand family. But it's destroyed now here in the West. Go ahead.
This is the book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age.
Right. Inquire, I pray thee, of the former age. Before time. Come on. Before. Go ahead.
And prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
That's what he's saying. Prepare yourself to the search of your fathers. Go ahead. Finish that up. Finish the video up.
Inherent. What is our family known for? But there's the answers to all of that. We still don't know where they are.
Right.
That's it. Right. So this is it. We good on that, y'all. Y'all can drop that. But that's very important. Because now, as we're growing the child, they're knowing their history, so they're feeling that strength. And this is what we were talking about last week, dealing with what? And you bringing it up as well, Chris, the anxiety. That's going to lead to depression, lead to a lot of mental health. And then what? Now you raising kids. These mothers are raising children, but they're not well themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? But go ahead, Chris.
For men and women that's going through custody battle. In that video, if you heard you probably heard what he said, but from a legal standpoint, I heard something else. I heard that if I'm not involved in my child's life as a mother or a father, that child is hurt forever.
Right.
Not just now. This child is raising children. And he's raising children and thinking he's a man.
Right.
Therefore, you're not only hurting him as a child without a presence of a father, you're hurting my grandchildren as well.
Damn, yeah.
You tell the judge, not only are you hurting this generation, you're hurting the next generation when you deprive me of my rights to have my child. That's how deep, and people don't look at it like in that way. I had to learn. I raised without my father, but I had a lot of uncles. Raised with my uncle and my cousins. I had a real big family. Even though my granddad, I lived with my granddad most of my life until he died when I was 15. Even though I was raised with my grandfather, I suffered because I wasn't raised with my father. My granddaddy got his own kids.
Right.
I suffered, even though I was raised with other men. I still, going back to the biblical thing, the Bible scripture you just read, I still wanted to search for my father.
Right.
That's right.
I suffered in a lot of ways. My identity, who I am, where do my people come from? As whoever look at this video and you withholding the father away from his father, the child away from his father, you are committing abuse on his child. And I have firsthand knowledge. That's the same thing you tell these judges. That's the same. That's the same way you have this intensity when you going into these courts. You take away me for a month or two. Imagine you and the mother was together for 2 years. That child been hearing your voice even when he was in the womb, and now he or she don't hear that voice at all.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy stuff because that's how children connect with the parents based on what they see, what they hear, right? So when your father's not around for a while, there's a disconnect there. Not that it can't be healed; it can be healed, right? But the father got to really come in there and spend some real serious time. But sometimes the damage is done already, depending on how the child came up. Right. You know,
Even when you're not spending time with your child, right? Even when you are not at home, you impact your child. Just to see you come home every day, take off your work boots. Your son, your daughter appreciate the sacrifice. That's why you can get women who take advantage of men financially and don't have a conscience because she never seen her father take care of her financially. You may see, I'm not spending time with my children, but they see my daddy is really sacrificing for us.
You know what it be too? Because I came from a situation like that, right? Imagine this. You come up in a household, right? Where your mother and father love each other all your childhood. And then all of a sudden, that's gone. So even the father's still in the life, right? But it's not the same as the father being inside the home. It's not the same because now guess what? The mother hates the father, always mad at the father. The father is mad at the wife. And guess what? Your father's a part of you. So when she hates your father, it's she hating the part of you that you know what I'm saying? A piece of you. And don't realize it, right? And your father hates your mother. That's the other part of you that, you know what I'm saying? That's where that child abuse began. So guess what? Your whole lifestyle is ruined. It's like a death. So now guess what? When I go outside, I don't care no more. Right. Today is the day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And same thing with the daughters. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's whatever now because my whole life was a lie. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing was a lie now. You know? So that's where the mental abuse start. Right? And you start to not care anymore. You don't care anymore. So even though my father was present, I can go get on the BART and go visit my dad. It take me an hour and a half, 2 hours. when he used to be right down the hallway. He used to be right there down the hallway. I could sit at the side of the bed and we could chop it up or something. I can only hear my dad on the phone now. You know what I'm saying? And I can hear my mom and her friends talking bad about my dad, and they talking bad about me because I'm just like my dad. You know what I'm saying? In certain senses. So it's like the whole thing is, it's like a definite fact. And I don't think unless you've experienced it, you ain't gonna quite really understand that piece of it. It's terrible. I wouldn't recommend that on no child. No child.
I want. Hey, you gonna say something?
No, go ahead.
Because I was gonna say something real quick. You talked about a father just being the impact, right? I want to play something now. Andrew Tate said something, right? Now I don't agree with this whole statement. I'm just gonna preface. Hey, bring up video number 13. I just put it in there, 13 in the class content, right? I want to preface this by saying that his dad wasn't around all the time, right? But he said his father was very impactful. This still means something. So when he's speaking about his particular situation, I don't agree with everything he's saying, but I agree with one part in regards to the impact of that you have to make as a father on a child. And I think that's even when a father is outside of the home, he has to make impact, you know? So when you and he's going to describe what that impact is, and I think we all going to understand that. Play it as soon as you get it. That's not it. 13. That's 12. Now they can't. We got to get count. What's the name? The count. One potato. 2 potato. This is crazy. We got to go Sesame Street in this piece.
What 13 come after?
Yo,
we picking on our IT team. They back there getting it right.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it.
A father doesn't have to be around. This is a big mistake. This is another big mistake, especially among the conservatives and the tradcons and all this crap. The idea that a father needs to sit around like a second mother to make a child healthy is a fallacy. In fact, I'd say it's detrimental to the child. I see all these dudes out here, they have a kid and they basically become mother number 2. Why? The mother keeps the child alive. As a father, it's your job to be impactful. You need to guide. You need to be a role model. You need to be a superhuman. Everyone should look at their father like a superhero. That's what you should genuinely view him as. It's hard to be a superhero if you're home every day arguing with your wife, changing diapers. That's not what a man should do. A man should rock up, teach lessons, be impactful, and it's more about quality as opposed to quantity of time.
I want to hear about it.
Right. So what he's saying, basically what he's saying is if you out there, you got children, you're out there working, so you're not around the house like that. He's not necessarily saying that you not with the mother. He's saying you're out there doing things, making things happen. You come back, you impact your child. This is what's going on. This is my business. This is what I'm doing, so on and so forth. These are very serious lessons that a child will learn and look at their father as that superhero. That's what he's talking about. And every child needs to look at and they generally, most children generally look at their father as that, regardless if they're like an Andrew Tate or if you just a 9-to-5 guy. Like us or whatever, right? You regular, but you're not that. So they look like, damn, you know what I'm saying? My father's getting it. I want to pattern myself. But I just wanted to show that, you know, he got a lot of stances. We ain't fully following that, but just that one little segment of the impact, I think is important. Go ahead.
I got a good example of a father's presence even when he's not around. My granddad died of cancer when he was 34 years old. He was in the military. But my granddad, a couple years before he got cancer from this chemical that was in Agent Orange that was in the military.
Yep.
He knew he was gone. But so my granddad took out a huge insurance policy. And also he took out this and he knew that he was going to get the insurance policy that's in the army, in the military, because he died how he died. He knew that they was going to have to pay for it. So what my granddad did was when he passed away, he had this insurance policy, accumulate money, and my grandma get paid like $1,000 a month for that. And also she get an additional couple grand from the military every month. since 1985, 87. So even though my grandfather isn't here, my grandfather's presence is still sustaining us as a family. So this things that only a father would do. This not something someone off the street would do for you, uh, uh, just because. This is the love of a father
Right.
that provide for his children over generations.
Right, and the scriptures talk about that. Let's get that real quick. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the scriptures when you make a point.
Y'all got, y'all got them for everything.
Let's get Sirach 30 and 5. 30 and 4. Start there, 4 and 5.
It's the book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 4. Though his father die.
Though his father die, like you said, right? That man is not around. Though his father die, come on.
Yet he is as though he were not dead.
Go ahead.
For he hath left one behind him that is like himself.
Right, he left one behind like himself because what? He trained him, right? And taught him well. Go ahead.
While he lived, he saw and rejoiced in him. And when he died, he was not sorrowful.
Right, he was not sorrowful when he died because he knew he did a good job with his son. Go ahead, read on.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies.
Right, he left behind him an avenger against his enemies. So in this time, it would be what? He taught him how to be an Israelite. He taught him how to really walk in his what? In his heritage, in his nationality, right? And he's able to teach his people. So now that's going to grieve the enemy because now they know that he's not caught up in assimilated into the garbage. Like you said before, when you in the court and you come and demand your rights, they say, yo, all right, get this guy out of here. We can't use him, right? Read on.
He left behind him an avenger against his enemies, and one that shall requite kindness to his friends.
And one that shall requite kindness to his friends because he was trained up properly, right? But go ahead, bro.
Yeah, he was taught morally. He was taught how to socially be around his people. Give me Proverbs chapter 17 and verse 6 right quick. Watch this.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 17 and verse 6. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers.
The glory of children are their fathers. That's what the scriptures say. Scriptures say, children's children are the crown of an old man, meaning he his grandchildren. That's his crown. He's seen his heritage grow, and the glory of children is their father. They superheroes is their dad. So you cannot have a stable child without his father. That's what the scriptures tell you.
Right. It's like it's like even a dog know like even a dog know his father, y'all. I mean, it's crazy. I'll tell y'all this story. My mom, she did not allow me to know who my father was when I was coming up. And 2 years ago, that was 2 years ago, I finally found out who my father was.
Damn.
Y'all, I see my father every day. Every single day.
So what you used to? So your father was actually in your community the whole time?
My father, was the first person. My father was he was a barber. My father's a millionaire now, but he was a barber and he cut my hair. And he in the neighborhood that I was raised up in, and then the other neighborhood I raised in, he moved. He moved over there. And he was cutting hair over there. So I'll be walking through football practice and I'll see my daddy cutting hair every day. I go talk to him like I was raised with him, like every day. But you couldn't tell he was my father because me and my daddy is dark. Like he's very dark and short. I'm not short. I'm like 6'1". My daddy like 5'7". So my dad started a tea cake company. He started a tea cake company. I used to go help my dad do his tea cakes, and he would have them in all the stores. So you learn how to put everything into the store. And then my dad just come to the house. He's been like a friend to the family all my life. And he said, "Oh, it was another guy. Brought this guy to court." My dad didn't know nothing when I was born, like nothing. He thought I belonged to somebody else.
So real quick,
And man,
so Chris, hold on before we remember your thought. So your dad and your mother were not married. Was that it?
No.
Okay. So therefore, he didn't even know that he had a son. She never told him. She thought it was somebody else, or she said it was your father was somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
And he had took the guy to court and everything, and he didn't know. And man, I'm just so hurt from that, man. I'm like, man, it just takes everything in me, like to even just me going to talk to this guy all the time, and it's just mess with me like all the time. I think about this situation. I'm like, all the things that I suffered.
Right.
And my mom was just, I don't know what she was thinking. You're like, I don't know what she was thinking.
Well, that's
and it just hurt me. It just hurt me, man. That situation there is very hurtful for me to even talk about.
No, absolutely. But that's the problem with our people, Chris. We have to keep the commandments. When we involved in sin, this is how it's going to work for us. It's going to be crazy. I just want to pull a scripture out based on what you just said, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4, and verse 6. Listen to this, Chris, right? Because this is not just your mother. This is many sisters have done this, right?
Right.
And many brothers have had kids all over the place. But watch this.
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 4 and verse 6. For children begotten of unlawful beds are witnesses of wickedness against their parents in their trial.
Right. So read that again. Read that again.
For children begotten of unlawful beds.
Right. So children that are begotten of unlawful beds, right? Are what?
Are witnesses of wickedness.
Stop. Are the witnesses of the wicked, right? Of the wickedness that was done. How? Because now you got a child out of wedlock. Right. You have a child that you blaming one man for the baby, but this other guy is the child. This is a witness against that individual for what? The wickedness that was done. Go ahead.
Against their parents in their trial.
Against their parents. Because although your mom told you the wrong thing, right? Yeah, she's to blame, but also your biological father is to blame. Why? Because they shouldn't have been moving like that in the first place, right? And so that's not just against your parents. That's against many of our parents did that. You know what I'm saying? Many of our parents did that. Some of them had the kid first and then went and got married.
Yep.
Right? That wasn't really, they try to fix the issue, but this stuff happens. But this is why the Lord said that what? The children begotten of unlawful beds are a witness of wickedness. So once we get into that sinful stuff, Chris, then guess what? It's going to be a avalanche. It's just going to keep going, sin upon sin upon sin, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And see, I still blame him because you kept coming around for a reason. You know what I mean? Right. You had a subconscious knowing, oh, I'll lay down with this woman.
Yep.
That's right.
You know what I mean? It's a possibility. It's like, man, it's just that situation. Don't do your child like that, man. Don't do your child like that. Yeah. But let's get to this best interest of the child.
The best interest
now,
of the child. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's get to the best interest of the child and how the state put their best interest on your child, right? So I was helping the guy in court today, and he had me on the phone while he was on a Zoom, right? And they was trying to get him for child support and do a DNA test to do a DNA test on their terms. Remember, on their terms. And the judge said it's in the state interest for you to get a DNA test. Hold on. Who is the state? And what interest do the state have of your child? If your child is not, if anything, if nothing illegal is going down, the state have no interest in the child. So I told him to object to the judge and asked her, what interest could the state have in the child? She said, well, the DNA test. I said, no. Did were you there when the child was made? No, you wasn't. So what interest do you have now? The judge didn't even answer. Well, sir, I'm gonna have to mute you. Well, I object to that too.
You objected to that too, huh?
Yeah, I told him object to that too. I asked him, who is the state? Can you tell the state to come here to in the court to let's figure out what their best interest is? And she said, well, sir, I can't do that. I told him to say, where is the state so I can see what their interest is? She said, well, I'm represented by the state. So are you the state or the agency that you want me to go get the DNA test from is the state? Which one? She said, well, both.
Both.
I said, well, they don't have any interest in your child. So the government have included themselves into interest of the state. Now, the Constitution say only the parents know the best interest of the child. Right? Only the parents. But the state runs by their own laws. If you don't object to their presumptions, then they will allow themselves to be involved into your private affairs. Now, did you ask the state to have the child? No. But soon as the child is born, it's out of nowhere that they have an interest in the child. Why is that? Well, of course, we know child support and we know CPS, right? Like we talked about last time. So if you waive your rights and you don't object to their presumption of having that best interest, then not only will they can tell your child where they're going to go for possession and custody, they can take your child away in general. So you as a father, not only are you protecting your child from the mother ignorance, you're protecting the child from the state's interest. People don't know this. Your child is collateral. Your child is nothing but a paycheck for them.
That's the
They get what, 66 cents on a dollar for your child? They get 66 cents on a dollar for your child.
So you saying now that the government gets, or the state gets 66 cents out of a dollar for each child that's doing what? That's in the system as far as the custody, and then the child support basically is what you're talking about.
Yes. If you don't have custody, they're going to make sure you're paying child support.
That's right.
So that's their interest. You're paying their bills. You are paying for the judge retirement program. A retirement program. You're paying for that 401k. Every man, every woman needs to go hear the case Proxel versus Granville.
What's the name?
Troxel,
Troxel?
Troxel versus Granville.
So what happened?
Every
in that case?
man.
Yeah. What happened in that case?
Yes.
So the father died in this case, and when the father died, the grandmother wanted to get the child from the mother for a certain amount of days. But the mother like, hey, no, I can't do that. You can get the child, but I'm like, no, you can't just get the child how long you want to. So they took the mother to court over the custody of the child. So when they took the mother to court, the lower court ruled in the grandparents' favor. The mother appealed the lower court's decision. The appeals court upheld the lower court's decision. They appealed that decision and went to the Supreme Court. So when they went to the Supreme Court, man, that woman just lit. Man, the audio is on that. Go back to that website, the website you was on.
All right, go back to the site because I pulled it up on Wikipedia just to get the. So we're gonna go back to the site, pull it up on Wiki real quick, just so we could read off exactly what it's dealing with. Then we're gonna go back to the government site so Chris could dissect it.
And so the judge was asking the opposing lawyer. So let's say if anybody can tell your child what to do.
Hold on.
Why
I'm sorry, Chris. I just wanted to bring that back while you were talking. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You want?
Right, because we brought it up for you. Scroll up, y'all. Scroll, so we can. It's the point to let the people know what this case entails. Right. All right, we're gonna read it real quick, Chris, for you, and then you could jump into it. Unless you, Chris, do you want to bring something up out of here yourself?
No. You can go ahead.
All right, we're just gonna read the facts. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, this is the facts. Tommy Granville and Brad Troxel, an unmarried couple, had 2 daughters together before they separated. Brad eventually committed suicide, and Granville told the Troxels, his parents, that they could not have more than 1 visit per month with the child under their visitation rights. They brought an action to obtain visitation rights under a Washington law that allowed any person to bring such a petition at any time. The Troxels succeeded in securing visitation for 1 weekend each month, 1 week during the summer, and 4 hours on each of their birthdays. During the appeals process, Granville married, and her husband eventually adopted the children.
Damn.
The state appellate court determined that non-parents cannot bring a petition to seek visitation with children, except in the context of a pending custody action. The state Supreme Court disagreed and ruled that the Troxels actually did have standing under the statute, but it ruled that the statute was an unconstitutional infringement on the fundamental rights of parents to control the upbringing of their children.
Right. So go ahead, Chris. Go ahead. I know you want to comment on it.
So they used that the grandparents seeing the children is under the best interest of the child, right? And so the judges in the Supreme Court saying, how could you as a non-parent have the best interest in the child?
Right.
That's their child. How could you have? So the Justice Scalia and O'Connor, they were saying, so with that logic, somebody off the street can just say, hey, this is the best interest of your child. Give them to me. With that logic that you're using,
Right.
anybody can have the best interest of the child.
Right.
So how could the state have the best interest of the child?
That's a good point. That's an excellent point. That's an excellent point you brought out, because the same way that they weren't directly connected to the children, the state has absolutely no connection to the children whatsoever, but yet they have power over the children.
Yeah.
Right? Go ahead, y'all want to say something?
No, that's real.
So they are content. They are relying on your ignorance to give for you to sign over your rights.
Well, listen, I'm gonna read something for you real quick, right? And this is what happens when we hear in our captivity. Give me the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, and verse 36. Watch this.
It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verse 36. Behold, we are servants this day.
We are servants this day. We still serving captivity here in America. Go ahead.
And for the land that thou gavest unto our fathers, to eat the fruit thereof, and the good thereof, behold, we are servants in it.
Right, because this land right here was given to our people. You read that in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5, I believe. That's what I think so. Go ahead.
And it yieldeth much increase unto the kings whom thou set over us because of our sins.
So because of our sins, we have these people over us, right? Esau, the so-called white man, they're over us because of our sins. The Lord set them over us. Go ahead.
Also, they have dominion over our bodies.
You see that? They have dominion over our bodies. That's how come they got power over us. Because that's how the state has control of the children, because they got dominion over our bodies. This is part of what we got to pay in this sinful life that we lead. But we got to repent and come back to the Lord. Finish that up.
And over our cattle at their pleasure.
That's what I wanted, at their pleasure. That's why when you're going in there, they say, listen, go get that DNA test with our people. We don't care about yours.
Right.
Get it with our people. Our test cost $300. Yeah.
Right.
The one you had, that was $5. That ain't good enough. We went with $300 joint.
Right.
This is the Louis Vuitton DNA test.
we gonna get a little cut out of that.
Exactly. Go ahead, finish that up.
And we are in great distress.
And we in great distress because of it. That's why we in the court systems fighting child support, fighting child custody cases.
Right.
This is sick. But go ahead, Chris.
So, oh yeah, and on that video, on that, it should be a speaker on that court case. Y'all can go listen to it. It should be like a speaker looking icon that's on that court case that you pulled up, Troxel versus Granville.
All right, hold on. We're gonna bring it back up. Bring that case back up, y'all.
You see that speaker? Go back up. Go back up right there. You can hear that whole court. You can hear that whole argument in the Supreme Court.
Okay. All praises. So anytime anybody wants to go and actually hear that out, you can hear it straight there. They have it. Right. The audio. I guess they recorded it while it was going on live in the court.
Yeah. Yeah. And that judge just told that lawyer apart. Like, that was a good case to listen to. Right. So yeah, when the court say they have the best interest in your child, you have to make them prove that they have interest at all, and also that the state actually exists. So we know the state doesn't exist; it only exists on paper. So therefore, the state is a what? It's a business. It's a corporation.
For sure.
How can a corporation that doesn't exist, do Walmart have the best interest of the child? Do Target have the best interest of the child? Do your favorite company what? Lids? Do Foot Locker? Do the mall have the best interest of the child? When the state say they have interest in the child, think of it as you walk into the Iranian liquor store and they have the best interest of the child. They're literally saying the same thing. Oh, anybody can have the best interest of the child. Damn. Anybody can have interest of the child if that's the case.
Yeah.
Because the state doesn't exist. It's a corporation.
All they want is that interest, man. That's it. That money.
Yeah, they want interest.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's the state interest.
That's the interest that they into. They into that monetary interest, man.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But also, when you're going for custody, you as a father or as a mother, you have to, when they go in a room, when you watching First 48, right? It's called a deposition. You have to question that mother. So, for instance, are you a mother of your child's name? Do you take care of that child? Do you love that child? You ask her those questions, right? You go down the list. Do this child, for instance, do this child needs both parents? And you say admit or deny. And she say, let's say if the mother say deny. If anybody denies that the child don't need both parents, not only they're not fit to be with the child, they need psychological evaluation.
Real.
So you get these questions you send in your court case. You get, if y'all want to hit me up, get a consultation with me, and we can talk about if you're going through a case.
Well, real quick, Chris, I'm sorry to cut you off, but we had a couple people in the chat that was saying exactly what you just said, where the mother was deemed unfit, but then somehow the father was brought in charged with something like he was also deemed unfit and then had to pay some child support. He wasn't even in the state, but somehow they put some blame on him. I don't know the exact situation. We just saw it briefly, but there's some chatter going on in the chat about unfit. Once one parent is unfit, then they don't generally just go ahead and give the child to the father. Some other foolishness is taking place,
Yeah, well, that's because what happened in that case, the father two things happened. The father was a deadbeat, and she should have never been dealing with that man anyway. And that goes back to sin, right? We have to take this sin stuff more seriously. We really do. We are suffering. Like, the sin is the main cause of why we are suffering so much. But two reasons why. That man is not fit, and she still had a child with him, and now the child is suffering from the parents' sins, or she have said this man can't see the child. So the father had no involvement with the child.
Yes, I think that was the case. It was something similar to what you were saying, where I think that the father might not even known.
Yeah, like
that
me,
he was the father, right?
My father. So who they're going to contact?
Right.
So now your child goes to the CPS system.
Damn, that's terrible.
It's all the way terrible.
We about to see what happens now.
You know what? And but this just goes back to what we were talking about before about building the families and having a marriage, right? Because due to the fact of how we were raised and what we see in the street, like Shahrazad Ali brought up earlier, when we think of marriage, we think of what we see on TV.
Right.
Right? Bring up 1 Corinthians 7:28. I just want to read something real quick because people believe that when you get married, like it's some happily, you're going to have problems. You're going to have little issues that you got to get through and you got to battle through, right? That's not no reason to break up most times, but something, few arguments, somebody want to run out the house and all that. That is not what the Lord called us to do. The marriage was never going to be just happily ever after, like some Cinderella story. That's not what it is. Read this real quick.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 7 and verse 28. But, and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh. But I spare you.
What Paul was saying here in the spirit of Christ was that when you get married, you're going to have trouble in the flesh, meaning you're going to have problems. Right. Because you got two different spirits coming together. Right? Y'all going to have beef about all little type of stuff. What to eat, what kind of car you want, what kind of, what kind of furniture in the house. I'm saying that's the small stuff. But then certain things, financial, whatever, it's going to be little drama going on. But our people, because we haven't been raised properly on what a marriage actually is and what love actually is, right? Which is keeping the commandments, loving your neighbor as yourself. You know what I'm saying? You having compassion for your wife having compassion, so on and so forth. As soon as something happened, now I'm out. Right. First of all, we ain't even get married. So it's easy to just break out.
Yep.
Right? And now what? Families is destroyed. Now the stress on the woman, in some cases, like this one, she's unfit. Maybe the father don't know he's the father, so on and it just turns into a whole thing. Now you got legal cases, not a child of CPS, all of that from not really understanding about marriage.
Yep.
Right. That's the snare of the devil. That's the trap that we can avoid.
Absolutely.
So when you think of it like this, how many birds are they killing with one stone?
Right.
From your terrible marriage, they destroying that man's pocket, so he cannot start a business.
Right.
He cannot barely pay his own bills. Right. That's one bird knocked down. Right.
Right.
The woman, she cannot raise the child in a sense to where
she can't raise him to sustain himself.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And guess who that's going to destroy? That's two birds now. It's going to destroy the child.
Right.
Now, guess what? That child's going to grow up thinking he's a man, not knowing what a man is. And guess what it's going to destroy? That's going to destroy the next generation, which is the grandchild. How many birds is that being destroyed with that one stone?
That's a flock.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Now we can avoid all that by having a healthy marriage.
Right.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And redefining what that is. Not like Christ said, I give you a new commandment.
I was just about to say that. No, you was right. Redefining.
Yeah.
You have to. Redefining with the old stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. It ain't actually new.
Right.
We just never followed the instructions the first time, and now look what we continue to get as a people. It's that same whooping. So yeah, the state do have interest in your children. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He got interest in the money that he gonna get from your children.
Yep.
That's the main interest.
He also got interest in the destruction that comes from you not being around him.
That's right.
He also got interest in how the community looks with a child that don't have two parents in their life. They're not learning nothing at the end of the day.
That's
and
right.
they're not learning nothing because we decide to do everything outside of what our manual say.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And that's the big issue. The big issue is that we do everything contrary to what we say, not knowing that the stuff that we going through right here, right now, is judgment.
Right.
Right.
It's judgment.
Yeah. Real talk.
Because if you did it the right way in the first place, like Cap and Officer Judah was talking about marriage done the right way, this stuff wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen.
Right.
Yeah. And not only that, this how far they have gotten our people. They have, if I get with you, with y'all guys, right? And I come around, we become best of friends.
Mm-hmm.
I have a daughter. You have a son.
Oh, yeah.
Say, Your daughter not about to go out here and just start dating random men.
Right.
I know my friend right here. He got a son that I know that was raised right.
Right.
No,
That's
absolutely.
the point. That's the point.
They have us so far where we can't even help our daughters pick out a man that's halfway decent.
Right.
That's why. That's the reason. And not only that, to teach our son to pick a woman that's halfway decent.
Yeah, and that's only because again we stepping away from our manual, man. At the end of the day, the scriptures say, give me Matthew chapter 19. About marriage. I want to show you something right quick, Chris.
Yeah.
19 and verse 4. Start at verse 4.
It's the book of
read 5.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19.
No,
and
read
verse,
4. I'm
and
sorry.
Verse 4. And he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female?
Come on.
And said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife.
Come on.
And they twain shall be one flesh.
The two shall be one. Come on.
Wherefore, they are no more twain, but one flesh.
There are no more individuals. They one.
What therefore God hath joined together, let not man put asunder.
You know what that means? No divorce.
Right.
God said no divorce. But then we listen to everybody else and the outside influences, and they push that. You having problems. You can get out of that problem with divorce.
Right.
But it was never supposed to be that way.
Right. No.
Ever.
Nope.
You're supposed to tough through that. Why? Because it's greater. It's gold at the end of the rainbow.
That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
That's the point.
Long as this man is not come in, he's not just beating the crap out of the woman.
No. Yeah, but see, but see, we gotta. If we training up our men right, that's not going to be the case. We're not talking about some extreme situation where the man is beating up the woman and she's supposed to stay in there. No, of course not. That's not even logical, right? And the scriptures don't hold
and
that.
now they getting divorced. Oh, I don't like the way that he drove the car on Thursday.
Yeah,
that's
now,
a social media man.
I think we growing apart.
Yeah, we growing apart. That's the
social
favorite.
media man.
Yeah.
Oh, you not gonna grow apart with the next guy?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's gonna be better for you than I am.
Man,
nah,
you know what?
That's because they never twained together and came one flesh. They were still twain. They was, and that's what America teaches. They teaches that you can be an individual. You can make your own decisions, but that's not how it is. Scriptures say a wife's desire is supposed to be her husband's.
Right.
Meaning you do, as long as it's lawful, you do whatever that man say. Why?
Right.
Because he got the vision. He got the logic. He got the power.
Right.
Yeah.
And real quick, just going back to what you were saying, Chris, about if you got a son and another brother got a daughter, right?
Yeah.
That's how, and that's where a lot of people get mixed up with Christ's parents, right? And saying that he was what they call it, immaculate conception, right? But go to Matthew chapter 1. We're gonna show you something, Chris. We're gonna show you something.
Bring it out.
Yeah, we're gonna show you something. Because Christ had a biological father.
Yes.
His name was Joseph.
Yep.
Within Matthew chapter 1, right? And we still gonna staying on point, but I just want to show you something. In Matthew chapter 1 is the generations of Christ. Matter of fact, read Matthew 1 and verse 1 and then jump down to 18. We're gonna show you something.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 1 and verse 1. The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
Stop. The book of the generations of Jesus Christ, meaning his genealogy. That's what it's talking about. Go ahead.
The son of David.
The son of David.
The son of Abraham.
He's being called the son of David and the son of Abraham, meaning that what? His line is going all the way back through Abraham. That's what I'm trying to say. Go ahead to verse 18.
Verse 18. Now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise.
Go ahead.
When as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph.
Right. Mary was espoused to Joseph. That's what you were talking about. Hey, my brother, you know what I'm saying? We know each other. These kids was raised properly. Let's put them together as a marriage. Let's see if they like each other. And And from there, they were what? They were betrothed to each other. So they was always knowing they was going to get married for a certain amount of time, right? And in knowing they was going to get married for a certain amount of time,
That's right.
somebody touched the goodies.
The father know
right.
What the father know that what the daughter wants in a man, because she's modeling what she want a man from what you have taught her already.
Right. And not only that, but he's showing her what she needs as a man, right?
Yeah.
But of course he's going to ask her, you know, he ain't going to just say this is your husband, right?
Yeah, of course.
But I want to just read the rest for you. Watch this.
Come on. She was found with child.
No. Read from the top, because you missed the whole piece. Go ahead.
Now the birth of Jesus Christ was on this wise. When, as his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph.
Go ahead.
Before they came together.
Before they actually got married. Before they actually had the ceremony. That's what it meant, before they came together. Go ahead.
She was found with child.
She was found with child of the Holy Ghost. Go ahead.
Of the Holy Ghost. Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man.
Right. Joseph, a husband, right? Now he's being called the husband. Before they were espoused. It showed that espoused. Then they obviously got married, right? Go ahead.
And not willing to.
Then Joseph, her husband, being a just man, right? Meaning what? That he kept the commandments. He understood, right? Go ahead.
And not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily.
Meaning what? That he wanted to hide the fact that she was pregnant before they actually had the wedding ceremony. That's really what it was. Because according to the scriptures, if she would have went out and had sex with some other, came up pregnant, he ain't gonna stick around for that.
Right. Nope.
He ain't sticking around for that. So this is just we're proving the point of being what? Betrothed or espoused to another. But I wanted to take that time to show you that Christ had a biological father.
Yeah.
And his father ain't go nowhere. His father wasn't the stepfather that came in from the angel having sex with Mary. That's not a real thing.
Right.
That's not a thing.
Right.
But just going back to you.
I like what Chris was saying. Like if you came here, right, you're not gonna give your daughter just no random man, right?
No.
Give me Tobit 5 and 10.
Yeah, you got to.
All right, watch this. Because that's absolutely true. And this is the importance of a father being in a daughter's life. Because I know what niggas want. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna avoid that for my daughter at all costs, because I know how serious marriage is. So watch this.
It's the book of Tobit, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Come on.
Then Tobit said unto him, Brother, show me of what tribe and family thou art.
He said, show me your tribe and family. I want to know who y'all come from. You know what I'm saying? Read on.
To whom he said, Dost thou seek for a tribe or family or an hired man to go with thy son? Then Tobit said unto him, I would know, brother.
I want to know your family, Reed.
Thy kindred and name.
I want to know thy family and your kindred and the name of them, right? Jump down to verse 13.
Verse 13. Then Tobit said, Thou art welcome, brother. Be not now angry with me, because I have inquired to know thy tribe and thy family. For thou art my brother, of an honest and good stock.
I know your family. You told me, oh, you with the Israels? Hey, guess what? You from the house of Shem? Oh, yeah, y'all honest and good stock. So, yeah, maybe I'll give my daughter to one of, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give my daughter to the Williamses down the street because his daddy is a crackhead. The uncle smoking dope. They all get drunk, and they all beat their women.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving my daughter to that stock.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why the scriptures say, marry
what
thy
you like
daughter.
about him? He tall.
Hey,
Right.
Hey.
Get up on my face, man.
Right. My daughter might pick like that with her eyes. She might like the Williamses. But I'm like, no, baby, no.
Right.
No, we're not going that way.
That's the pop the balloon doctrine.
Yeah. Tobit wanted the Carfax.
Right, yeah. I want to know who I'm rolling with.
I want to see how many miles been on this car. Has it been wrecked?
We want the tokens of virginity right now. We want the cloth with the blood on it.
Yeah, we want to see.
We want to make sure nobody went in thereof.
Yeah, bro.
Into the pertinence thereof.
and this the thing. This the thing too. Back in the day, you know, I'm from Louisiana. Back in the day, you bring somebody home. Who who they people is.
Yeah.
They need your grandma. You go talk to your grandma, your granddad. Who they people is.
Right.
Oh, they the Joneses. No, you can't talk to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Only thing they did was drink back in the day.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you know, they come from a whole family of drunk.
Yep.
You know, back in the day, our people, the best advertisement is word of mouth. And back in the day, if you had your family had a bad reputation, everybody knew.
But guess what? But hey, Chris, but you know what it was? But we talking about children today. But that was your representative, right? Once your children were moving in a certain way, people said, "Damn, you know, this kids must be raised right."
Yeah,
because of how they keeping themselves, how they speak to adults, all of that. That was a big, how can I say, a calling card for the family on how the children were moving. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't see the adults, you know?
Yeah. And so, yeah, back to the family court situation.
Chris, we got to be wrapping up soon. So, Chris, do your thing, and then we got to wrap up soon.
I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
If you had your child out of wedlock, go to the court and declare yourself as the lawful and biological father. You may have your child out of wedlock. It's like making a confession to God, but you promised to look out and have an inheritance for your child and bestow on your child the wisdom of father. You can put all this in your document and have the judge sign, to make an order that you are now the lawful father of this child. And they will send that off, and they'll put you on the birth certificate as the father. And now when the state comes down, not only do you have an order saying, hey, there's no need for this child support that y'all trying to impose, because I already told the court the duties that I will have for my child, and that is to provide and sustain my own child's life. I don't need you to do it. I don't need to pay you to sustain my child. So if the mother ever go and try to put you on child support and she can't prove that you're not doing that duty, then she would never be able to put you on child support.
Well, Chris, listen, we already had you on here about child support, and you got some magic. You know what I'm saying? Because many brothers would go up in the child support court and be like, "Well, listen, this is all the money I paid." They're like, yeah, but you're going on." They don't give a damn.
Yeah, but you the legal father.
Right. Well,
that's what they gonna say.
Right. But that's a whole other war. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole other war. But just we're gonna bless you with one scripture because you talked about inheritance. Proverbs 13:22. All right.
It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 22.
Come on.
A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children. To his children's children.
Read that again.
Excuse me. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children.
To his grandchildren. When people talk about generational wealth, right? That's straight out the scriptures, right? A good man leaveth inheritance to his children's children. Go ahead.
And the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
Right. All right. So we just wanted to throw that at you, Chris, before we leave you, man. Hey, as usual, man, thank you, brother, for coming back on, being gracious with your time, my brother.
Yeah, man.
And for all of y'all, hey, Chris is not a lawyer, but he just knows the law. You know what I'm saying? He knows the law well.
I have one question.
Yes, sir.
What Bible is that I never heard of Tobit? What Bible
Tobit.
is
That's
that?
the book of Tobit. So what you have 14 books that were taken out of the Bible, known as the Apocrypha. All right. Hey, put that up on the screen so the brother can see it. All right. But if you want to you can get the Bible with the Apocrypha in it. Okay. Right. It's called the 1611 version. All right. And it'll come with the 66 books plus the 14 is 80 books. That's really the real full Bible.
Yep.
Can y'all put the picture of the Apocrypha up so Chris can grab that if he wants? And also a picture of the 1611 Bible. Yeah. Whichever one. All right, Chris. So that's how you get. And in that book, it's the other two books of Ezra, right? So you have in the regular Bible, you got Ezra and Nehemiah, right? Then you have two more books of Ezra. Actually, the book of Nehemiah was actually supposed to be the second book of Ezra, right? But then they changed the Nehemiah for confusion's sake. And then you had the first book of Esdras in the Apocrypha in the second book. You got the Maccabees, Wisdom of Solomon, Tobit, like you referenced.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Bring that up, y'all. Okay. Right. So this is the Cambridge Bible right here. Right. This has all 80 books in it. All right. Okay. And the sister said she's gonna email you the link to this Bible right here. So all praises. Okay. So this is the Cambridge Bible. It's going for $129 right now. That's cheap. I remember that this thing used to be more. Yeah, it used to be way more like $250 or something. I'm glad they brought the price down. So you can find the Apocrypha in there, and then you could buy the Apocrypha separately. But I would implore you to just buy the whole thing just like that. That's the best bet. Okay. You know. So yeah, Chris. But thank you, bro. Thanks for being gracious with your time as well, sharing your knowledge. If anybody needs help with anything in the custody case, holler at us. Y'all can email us and we'll get it to Chris, and he could kind of guide you, you know, and then you get your attorney or whatever to help as well. Yeah. But the brother got a lot of knowledge in fighting these demons in the courts.
You got a lot.
Yeah, bro.
Have a good one, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You as
yes,
well.
sir.
All right, all praises, all praises.
All praises.
Yeah, man. Chris is a incredible brother, man. I don't know. He remembers all that stuff. That brain is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That brain is crazy. Hey, before we go, obviously, hey.
Oh, he got
the Booster Club. Oh, he got it. The Booster Club. All right, the Isaiah 11:11 project. You know what I'm saying? Y'all donate. All right, brothers going all over the world. Bringing back the 12 tribes. Isaiah 49:6. Did I get that right? Is that the right scripture? It's a light thing to restore the tribes of Israel. All right, y'all. So do y'all part. Send that bread. We're going to send the men out, and we're going to get the family back together again. All right? Bring up the next one. Because while y'all sending that, y'all know y'all got to save at least $1 or $2 for us.
The chain.
Right?
The chain.
Why y'all always got to leave both up there? There you go. Right? So that's us right there. That's donate to support our show, the Nehemiah Squad. All right? IUIC.norcal@israelunite.org. All right? I'm not sure why y'all keep that other one up there. It's confusing. All right? So if y'all want to donate to the show, help us, you know, get some more lights in here and what else we need? Like a motorcycle or something? We need something.
Money. We need money.
Car spinning around in here, whatever. All right? Y'all donate, you know, give us a couple of dollars, all right? Donate to support the show.
Right.
All right, and let's throw up the thumbnail for next week, y'all. All right, so next week's show gonna be something crazy.
Stop that, man.
All right, next week's show is called the Tuskegee Legacy.
Oh,
More than just pilots. All right, we with Lieutenant Colonel James A. Walker. All right, he is the son of one of the Tuskegee Airmen from back then. It's gonna be a great show.
Yeah.
He's gonna give us a lot of information on those brothers back then, and yeah, we're gonna bring some stuff out. It's gonna be excellent show.
It's gonna
y'all.
be historical.
Yeah, excellent show. You know, that's going to be in the midst of the Passover week. We're going to have a lot of people. It's going to be a nice time. It's going to be a party.
Right.
It's gonna be good.
Party time. Oh, it's party time. All right.
Yo.
So, hey, officership, take us out, bruh.
Oh, man, you know what time it is, man.
He's gonna do it.
You know
he's going to do it.
Let's go.
Yo.
Let's go.
This is the book of Nehemiah, chapter 13 and verse 21. Then I testified against them and said unto them, why lord ye about the wall? If ye do so again, I will lay hands on you.
Y'all know what time it is. If you do it again, we got to lay hands on you. If you're not supporting the Booster Club, we got to lay hands
Go
on
ahead. You need that background music.
If you don't support the Nehemiah Squad show, we got to lay hands on you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Chris. If you call Tobit Tibbet again, we got to lay hands on you. Hey, yo, this is the show. This is Nehemiah Squad. We are your hosts. I'm Officer Shim. It's Captain Zaccai. That's Officer Judah.
Yeah.
And they did nothing wrong. Do it again. I'm Officer Shim. That's Captain Zaccai. That's Officer Judah. We are the Nehemiah Squad. Thank y'all for tuning in. We out.
All praises. Most High Christ bless y'all. Shalom.
So, we give them some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.
I can't wait for our kingdom to start and for there to be finished. Get rid of all of their idols and lying religions. Look for the crown like an Edris. Hey, this that crown talk. Wisdom of Solomon 5 talk. This that second Edris 6 and 9. We want eyes talk. It's your time to end and my time again. It's our time to win. Away with the sin. You know what it is. Rejoice with my kin. See that is why we repented. Go to streets, I can see myself in it. The city is bright, the kingdom of light. A wonderful sight past the angels, the inner light. I need 1,000 years of labor. Sit on my throne with my savior. Try to know wine, press alone. He bring pain like major. You think the nations is equal to us? TK Kirkland, who raised you? Flex on occasion, my God a racist. That's why we moving with patience. It's been a long time coming. I spent my whole life running. Now that I'm 10 toes down and established my faith on 100. Woe to the nations, my king will race them. You know they gotta be punished. Jeremiah 25. Yeah, you know they gon' fry. Whoa.
Said he won't vote, we looking for smoke. So, we give them some more. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. It's the end of the world. Ain't the beginning of ours. We want the world, we breaking them down. Taking the kingdom, can't wait for the crown. It's the end of the world.